Yo, what's good? Your 413 here back in the day, and today, guys, I'm going to be going over all of the returning cars and the new car that is coming to the festival playlist in Series 2 here in Forza Horizon 5. And starting things off, we have a returning brand in the form of Donkervort with the D8 GTO, which is powered by the same 5-cylinder engine as an Audi RS5, yet is more than half of its weight. Then we move on down to Ferrari, and you'll see there's a couple car pass cars there. We're not going to cover those in this video, but we'll cover them in another one. But we had the 599 GTO, which honestly I'm very happy about, just to have a standard base 599 in the game. Technically, this is upgraded over the GTP version. However, though, we already had the 599XX Evolution, which is a damn good car. Also in Ferrari, we have the Ferrari 575 Maranello coming back into the game, which actually was a partnership between Ferrari and Pininfarina, and was the first V12 to have a Formula 1 gearbox. After that, we go on to Jag, where we have the Jaguar XKR-s GT, which is a track version of the Jaguar XKR-s. So technically, we kind of already could have built this car in the game using Forza Aero and a few other things and tips and tricks and all that sort of stuff. But hey, we got this car back in the game. It's a nice addition. I'm not going to complain. It's a free car. It's a free car. Although, why wasn't it in the start of the game? I don't know. It's free content for Forza, essentially. Then we go to Lamborghini, which is where we get our one brand new car with the festival playlist, and that is the 2018 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ, which is essentially the Performante of the Aventador series. This thing is absolutely crazy. It gets 80 more horsepower than the SV, and has been significantly lightened by 600 pounds. Absolutely crazy, absolutely drop dead gorgeous. And then we have the Lamborghini Auto LP570-4 Spider Performante. Now, this is a convertible version of a car we already have in the game, which is the LP570-4 Super Leggera. First seen in Forza Horizon 1, we did get it back in Horizon 4 as well. So, honestly, a nice addition to the game. Then we go to Maserati, where we have the Maserati 8CTF, which was one of those weird cars that didn't end up coming back into the game, and I was really surprised that it didn't. This thing was built to beat the Auto Union, and it did its job fairly well. I'm not a big fan of these cars. I hate driving them, but hey, it's here. It's back. Then we have another returning brand in the form of Peel, where we pick up both the Trident and the Peel P50. Tiny little cars for fun little adventures. Honestly, these things in Horizon 4 were the bane of some people's existence, because you could use these in online, like infection rounds or king rounds. As long as you could get the crown or something like that, you could essentially hide with one of these cars and hold on to it the entire time, or never get infected if you were playing a round of infection. These things were little cheater cars, but they are now back in the game. After Peel, we got a few returning cars from Toyota in the form of the Hilux Artic truck and the Land Cruiser Artic truck. These things are essentially built for the Arctic, and honestly, I was surprised to see them not in the game, considering the fact that these were the only Toyotas to stay in Horizon 3 when Toyota decided to leave. I was surprised that they weren't in the start of Horizon 5, but obviously they are back now, and they are going to be Forzathon exclusives. But then we have another car from Toyota, which we haven't seen since Forza Motorsport 6, in the form of the 2003 Toyota Celica SSI. This thing is doomed to essentially be a high schooler's first car, because unfortunately they never made a GT4 version of it. So the only way that you could get one of these was in front wheel drive. Now, some people have made all wheel drive versions of this car, but I'm not going to get into the details of that, because honestly, I'm not an engineer and I have no idea what they are talking about half the time on some of those forums. But yeah, this thing's in the game, and honestly, I really do like this car. I really do. Our second to last car that we are getting in the festival playlist is the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, which honestly, this thing is branded Lotus, so it's kind of surprising that they put it in the Vauxhall category, although I guess they want to keep Lotus reserved for, like the true Lotuses, since technically this was originally a Vauxhall that Lotus got their hands on and then made a Lotus out of it. You know, it's kind of a whole weird deal there. It's a partnership with two brands, and they both decided to add their name to the same car, so kind of a weird one to say the least. But at one point in time, this was the fastest sedan in the world with a top speed of 180 miles an hour. Then finally we have our last car, which is the Zenvo TS1. Now this thing is crazy. Honestly, I'm so glad to see it back in the game. However, though, some of you guys might notice that it has a different name. Back in Horizon 4, this used to be the ST1. Now it is the TS1 to fall more in line with the rest of the car brand with the TSRS. So they just decided to go ahead and pull a Gumpert on us and change the name of their cars that already existed. So kind of a weird one to say the least, but hey, we got this back in the game, and that is all that matters. This thing is honestly a beast of a car. Surprised to see it back, though, considering the fact that TSRS is already in the game. So, we'll see how that works out. So anyway, though, that's where we're going to wrap things up for today. If you guys want to, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Gurp13 and Instagram.com/Gurp13. And if you guys like this video, go and make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you already know your support is so greatly appreciated. And make sure to subscribe and we're just coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Bye.